Hi friends, welcome back to Sauna with Samantha. I am so glad that you are here with me today. Now, a couple weeks back, I did a flow surrounded around low back pain and spinal alignment. So if you have not yet done that video and you are experiencing low back pain, I'm gonna put a little link to it here and in the bio. And I would recommend you check that one out first. So this one is kind of a follow-up to that video. So just as a recap to those of you who did watch the video, basically people fall into one of two categories. Either they have too much curve in their low spine, they're tilted like this, so it's kind of like their guts are spilling out and they're pinched together in the back. The other, their buns are tucked too far under, so their abs are too tight and they don't have enough curve in their low spine. The ideal is to get to a neutral position, okay? So again, just to recap, you wanna have your natural lumbar spine, your natural thoracic spine, natural cervical spine. So today's flow is gonna be centered towards those of you that struggle with the too much tuck under, not enough curve in the lumbar spine. So that's what we're gonna be working on today. If this is you, and this is the category you fall into, there are two things that you wanna focus on to counter this. The first is to stretch out in your abdomen and stretch out in your hamstrings. And the other is to strengthen your quads and strengthen your low back. So those are the two areas to stretch and the two areas to strengthen that we're gonna be working on today. So let's go ahead and get started. Come down to a comfortable cross-leg position. If you would like, you can pop yourself up on a block. However, if you are not up on a block, make sure that you take your flesh and peel it off of your sit bones so that your sit bones are really rooted down, like nailed into the floor, okay? Place the hands palm down on the knees, and we'll do a little seated cat and cow. So as you inhale, draw the chest forward, send those sit bones back so you're really stretching out through the abdomen. Bring the gaze up toward the sky, and then as you exhale, round the spine, chin comes to chest, sit bones tuck under. So we're really just beginning to mobilize the spine so that you can feel the full range of your motion. It may not be as drastic in terms of flexibility and mobility, but that's okay. Just work within what your spine is capable of doing. No judgment here, okay? For others or for yourself. Okay, as soon as you've completed your little round of cat and cow, you can come back to a neutral spine. And then open your legs out to a straddle position. Again, take the time to peel the flesh from your sit bones so that you are rooted down into the mat, okay? Inhale to grow tall, and then as you exhale, forward fold. We're getting a little stretch in those hamstrings. Again, focus on bringing your belly toward the floor, not your head toward the floor. Inhale to come up. And as you exhale, go ahead and stretch over to the right side. Really draw your left arm up toward the sky so you're opening up all the way through the side body and a little bit through the front of your body as well. Inhale, come back up to center. As you exhale, come on over to the left side. Again, open up to the sky. It's kind of a side stretch, but it's also a spinal twist. Inhale to come back up, and exhale your hands down through heart center. All right, go ahead and bring your legs together. I'm gonna flip to the side. You can either face forward or you can flip around, totally up to you either way. Inhale to grow nice and tall, okay? Again, make sure that the flesh is off the sit bones. And then as you exhale, draw yourself forward for another forward fold. Make sure your feet are flexed so that you're really getting the full range of that stretch through the bottom side of your legs. We do want to stretch out the hamstrings, but in order to stretch out the hamstrings, you kind of have to do the whole posterior chain, if that makes sense. Calves and glutes and yeah, all that jazz. Inhale to come up. Go ahead and bring the sole of the left foot into the right thigh. Grow tall. Get a straight spine all the way up to the sky. And exhale, fold to that right leg. If you feel like you're getting it in your low back, that is not where you want to be feeling it. If that's the case, come out a little bit, lengthen the spine, and then again, focus on bringing the belly to the thigh, not your head down. If you're rounding your back, you're gonna feel it all through here, and that's exactly the problem that you're already struggling with. If your buns are tucking under too much, you don't have enough spine, or don't have enough curve in your low spine, it's because you're overstretching this area instead of strengthening it. So you can even practice flexing your low back to bring yourself up. Think about maybe even drawing forward with your chest in order to focus the stretch in on the area that you actually want to be focused on. Inhale to come up. Let's just switch the legs, so extend that left leg out long. Fold the right foot in to the left thigh. Inhale, again, straighten that spine, lengthen. And then fold on your exhale. You want those left toes to be pointed up toward the sky. All right, inhale to come up. Let's lengthen both legs out. And one last time, forward fold to both feet. It's like you're drawing your chest out toward your toes. All right, inhale to come up. Let's go ahead and flip around into a tabletop position. So whichever direction you are facing, come to face the top of your mat. Stack knees and hips, wrists and shoulders. Extend your left leg out long, tuck under the toes. You can bring your hands forward a little bit to add some pressure and just press back for a calf stretch. Like I said, we kind of need to do the whole posterior chain, at least starting at the bottom, moving up to the hamstrings. This can help with that. Go ahead and release that left knee down. Extend the right leg out, tuck under those toes. Again, press back. Calf stretch on the right side. Make sure you're not collapsing in your shoulders. Really press the ground away to stay lifted. If you're collapsing up here, then you're losing traction. You're not getting the full stretch that you could possibly get. So really push away. And go ahead and release that knee down to the ground. Tuck under the toes. You can move your hands closer to you if you need to. And then fly that bottom all the way up to the sky for a first downward facing dog. Now, in the last video, in regards to the spine and the alignment, we talked a lot about keeping those natural curves while you're in positions like downward facing dog. Well, really all of the positions, but I think we covered this one a little bit more in depth. Now, with this particular issue of being tucked under, what I want you to really focus on is drawing your sit bones broad and wide and up toward the sky. You know how when some people come out of the tanning booth and they're wearing swimsuits, you can tell that they went to the tanning booth because they have that like little spot underneath their butt cheek that's like a little peachy spot right under the butt cheek. Call that the butt window. I want you to focus on keeping your butt windows open, okay? I know that's kind of a funky analogy, but I had a teacher who used that and it resonated, so hey, hopefully it resonates with you as well. As long as you are trying to keep those sit bones broad and point up toward the sky, you'll really get a better stretch through those hamstrings, and it'll help strengthen your low back as well. All right, go ahead and walk your feet up to your hands. Bring them about hip width apart and hang here in ragdoll. If you'd like, you can take a nice deep bend in these, or you can keep them straightened. But draw your weight toward the front of your foot. All right. Inhale, come up halfway. So wherever you can get to, if it's here or here or here, wherever you can get to while still keeping a flat spine. And then I want you to inhale here, and as you exhale, bend your knees, bring your belly to your thighs, and extend your arms back behind you. Okay, we're still stacked, ankles and knees. Okay, but we're focusing on flexing, creating that lumbar curve, and lengthening through the front side of your body. Inhale to come back up to your flat back. Exhale, bring those arms back, belly to the thighs. Again, inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, last time. And then go ahead and fold from here. You can grab hold of your ankles, grab hold of your big toes, wherever you'd like to help draw. Keep that belly to your thighs. If you still have a little bit of a bend in the knee, that's okay. Just see if you can begin to straighten while still keeping your spine nice and long. All right. Come up halfway again. And I want you to use your leg strength. So don't peel the body up, but really use your leg strength to come all the way up to stand. You can bring your arms up to the sky, and then exhale those hands down through heart center. Good job. All right, bring feet together. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back to a high plank. Vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, bring your attention to those sit bones. This is the perfect pose for you to practice stretching out through those hamstrings and really bringing that curve in. So we're not tucking like this, okay? You don't want to have any kind of curve like this in your spine. You want to really have your buns back broad. All right. Okay, inhale, and then as you exhale, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, use your leg strength. Come all the way up to stand, arms up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back to your high plank. Again, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Again, focusing on those sit bones. Really lengthen through the spine. You want to open through the chest as well, almost like you're pushing your heart down toward the center of your mat. But really lead with those sit bones. If you need to take a nice deep bend in the knees in order to open up those butt windows a little bit more, you can do that. All right. Draw yourself forward and lower down to the belly, down to the forearms. So you're coming into a Sphinx position. Really stretch out through the abdomen here. Bring your gaze forward. All right, go ahead and lower all the way down to the forehead. Bring your arms down by your side, palms up. Okay, and just like we did before, when you were drawing your belly to your thighs, we're gonna do the same movement. So as you inhale, go ahead and lift, press your belly down into the mat. You're gonna flex through your low back and bring your arms up and back behind you. You can draw your gaze forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift, reach those fingertips back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Good job. Now bring your hands just a little bit forward of your shoulders and draw those palms back toward you. Put the pressure into the mat as if you're drawing them back toward you. And really slowly come up into a high cobra to stretch out through that abdomen. And slowly, slowly lower back down. All right, go ahead and bring your hands just a little bit wide of your shoulders, wide and forward. We're gonna do some bow pose variations. So as you inhale, lift just the chest and the arms. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now this time, incorporate the legs. So as you inhale, lift arms and legs. Bring the gaze forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Go ahead and bend both of the legs in. Grab hold of your ankles with your hands. And as you inhale, go ahead and kick back into those hands and lift into a bow. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, hold. Exhale, lower. Last time. Inhale, lift, really kick back. Exhale, lower. Good job. Place your hands underneath the shoulders. Come all the way back into a downward facing dog. Inhale. And as you exhale, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Okay, spread through the toes on your left foot to establish a nice base for yourself. And as you inhale, go ahead and lift the right leg up with knee bend. And then I want you to practice extending with your foot flexed and bending. Really drive this motion using your quad muscles. Go ahead and extend, bend. One last time. Extend and bend. Place that foot down on the ground. Spread through the toes on your right foot. Establish your base. Then lift the left leg up. Flex that foot. Extend it out long. Flex. Extend. Flex. Hopefully you should be feeling some heat building in your quad muscle, especially if you're really lifting that leg up as high as you can. I think we've got one more. Extend, bend. You place that foot down on the ground. Go ahead and extend all the way up to the sky. You can come all the way down to a crouch and then just lower yourself down to your back. Now bend the knees here and I want you to check your low spine here, okay? So in this position, I want you to check the curve of your spine. So natural tendency, especially if this is your go-to posture, natural tendency is to tuck the sit bones under and try to get your sacrum completely flat on the floor. It's not what you need to do, okay? Go ahead and broaden your sit bones, plant them down. All right, so you wanna make sure that there's enough space underneath you that like a garden snake could fit through, but you don't want it to be big enough that like a python or a ferret or something a little larger could fit through, okay? It's a small curve, it's a small space, but you wanna make sure that there is a space there. Your sacrum should not be flat on the floor, okay? Go ahead and bring your feet to the edge of the mat and then drop both knees over to the right side. Keep your shoulder blades still planted into the mat and then press your left knee down and away from you. So imagine that somebody has a string attached to like your kneecap and they're pulling, like there's a tug of war between the top of your head and the bottom of your knee. Just tugging away in opposite directions. but you are firmly rooted down through those shoulder blades. Inhale, come back up to center. As you exhale, drop both knees over to the left. Again, press that right knee down and away. So now it's like you're playing tug of war between your right knee and the top of your head. Enjoy that stretch. All right, inhale, back up to center. Bring both knees into the chest. Arms come out to the T. Drop both legs over to the right. Again, you're firmly rooted. This is serving as a nice little back stretch as well after all those bow pose variations. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, drop both knees over to the left. And inhale, bring those knees back up. You can give them a nice big hug, rock from side to side. Then you can roll from front to back to massage through the spine. I know we worked your back. I love it. Relax down. And now I want you to take the traditional Shavasana. So extend your legs out all the way. The reason why I want you to take this traditional Shavasana is because it's easier to maintain that lumbar curve. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath the back. Bring your hands palm up to the sky. And then close off the eyes. And just allow yourself to settle into your mat. Let go of all tension and stress. Understand that repatterning exercises, especially as it pertains to your spine, takes time and effort. So if you walk away with your spine still not feeling perfect, that's okay. It just takes practice. Be proud of the work that you have done. And be proud of the fact that you are investing in yourself to bring your body closer to optimal alignment. And take some subtle movements with the fingers and toes. And then as soon as you feel ready, go ahead and roll to whichever side feels comfortable to you today and make your way up into a comfortable seated position. Eyes remain closed. You bring hands to heart center. Blink open the eyes. Namaste. Thanks so much for flowing with me today. I hope that this was helpful and enlightening to you. If you have any specific questions about low back pain or this particular type of low back issue, please feel free to comment below and I will try to give you either another video or I'll at least reply with something that can be helpful for you. Again, if this is your main point of pain, make sure that you are focusing on stretching hamstrings and abs and strengthening low back and quads. And that should help you to come into closer alignment. You can feel free to use this flow as many times as you need, but any exercises that accomplish those things will help with your low back problems. Anyway, if this was helpful to you, please be sure to like and subscribe. There are new yoga flows every Tuesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to be notified anytime there's a new upload, please feel free to hit that little notification bell. Thanks again so much for flowing with me today. Have a swell day.